Have you ever felt completely betrayed by someone you trusted, only to realize later that the real betrayal wasn't from them at all? What if every betrayal you have experienced was actually a message from your subconscious mind trying to wake you up? You know, the moment when someone does something so unexpected, so hurtful, that it leaves you stunned? Maybe a friend shared something personal about you behind your back. Maybe a partner broke a promise they swore they'd keep. Maybe a colleague threw you under the bus for their own gain. Your stomach drops, your heart races, and a voice inside you screams, "How could they do this to me?" I know that feeling. I used to believe betrayal was about other people's actions, that they were the problem. But after working as a hypnotherapist and a coach for the last 7 years, helping clients process deep emotional wounds, I've realized something shocking. Betrayal doesn't actually exist. At least, not in the way we think it does. Hi, my name is Matusz Hanidziar, and in this video, I'm going to show you why betrayal is actually not an external event. It's an internal signal. And once you understand this, you'll never have to feel betrayed again. So let's break this down. Betrayal is not a basic emotion. It is not like fear, sadness, or anger. It's not something you are born with. Instead, betrayal is a mix of anger, hurt, sadness, and even shame. But at its core, betrayal is simply the pain of broken trust. And trust is an expectation. Every betrayal you have ever felt comes from an expectation, either spoken or unspoken, that was broken. If someone breaks a written contract, crosses a clear boundary, or cheats, that's a spoken expectation that was violated. But the real betrayals, the ones that cut deep, are usually the ones that break unspoken expectations. The silent agreements you assumed existed, but were never actually established. Think about it. Have you ever felt betrayed by someone who never actually promised you anything? Maybe you assumed a friend would support you the way you supported them. Maybe you thought your partner would just know what you needed. But when they didn't meet that expectation, it felt just as painful as if they deliberately deceived you. That's because betrayal isn't something others do to us. It's something our subconscious points out when we haven't set or enforced our own boundaries. So, how do you stop feeling betrayed for good? You follow this 3-step process. Step number 1: process the loss of trust. When trust is broken, your first instinct usually might be to blame the other person. But here is the thing: holding on to betrayal keeps you trapped in the past. If you have been betrayed, you're not just mourning what someone did. You might also be mourning the fact that you didn't see it coming, or that you didn't have boundaries in place to prevent it. And that's painful. But processing that pain is the first step. Because if you don't process it, the betrayal will keep living in your mind, taking up space in the present moment and influencing your future relationships. This is why I work one on one with clients to help them move through these emotions so they don't keep repeating the same painful patterns. And if you are ready to stop feeling stuck in betrayal and want a clear path forward, book a free clarity call with me. You can find a link in the description of the video. Step number 2: clarify your boundaries. Once you have processed the loss, it is time to take a hard look at your boundaries. You can ask yourself, what unspoken expectations did I have? Did I assume this person would act a certain way without ever clearly stating my needs? A boundary is not just something you think about, it's something you communicate. If you don't clarify your boundaries, you are not protecting yourself. You are just hoping others will magically understand what you need. This was a huge lesson for me in my business. For years, I would spend hours on clarity calls, sometimes up to 3 hours, giving clients deep insights, helping them uncover root causes, and even giving them actionable steps, all without asking for payment. And then they often thank me and disappear. And sometimes I felt betrayed. But was it really their fault? Not really. They never agreed to pay me for the time. I had an unspoken expectation that if I gave enough value, they'd naturally want to work with me. But I never actually set a boundary around what I was willing to give. So when I finally set that boundary, when I made it clear that my time and expertise were valuable, everything changed. And the same is true for any relationships. If you feel betrayed often, ask yourself, where have I assumed rather than clearly stated what I expect? And step number 3, act on your boundaries. Knowing your boundaries is one thing, enforcing them is another. Imagine you build a fence around your house but never lock the gate. If someone walks in, is it their fault or is it your responsibility to enforce that boundary? People will always do what they want. You can't control them, but you can control how you respond. When someone crosses your boundary, you have two choices: ignore it and feel betrayed, or acknowledge it and take action. The second option is the only way to break the cycle. Because the truth is, betrayal isn't something people do to you, it's something your subconscious uses to wake you up. Until you take care of your own boundaries, you will keep attracting situations that point it out to you. You'll keep feeling betrayed because your subconscious is screaming at you to take action. And now, it's also me. But once you set boundaries and act on them, the need for betrayal simply disappears. Just like I saw it for myself, just like I saw it for many of my clients. So let's make this real for you. If this makes sense to you, if you are tired of feeling betrayed, if you want to trust yourself fully, then set your boundaries and act on them and stop betraying yourself. So, what do you think? Have you ever felt betrayed only to realize later that it was actually a lack of boundaries? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, please subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.